Hi ladies, how are you today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm having a wonderful day and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I want to talk about how I overcame being a doormat. And what that means to me is, it's such an ugly word, right? Basically what it means is that everyone can walk all over you because you have no boundaries. You're unable to stop people from walking over you and they just, take over. And I wanted to share about specifically how I used to overshare details about my life and what does this have to do with setting boundaries and being a doormat. So when I was younger, I learned not to set boundaries because the people around me basically expected me, the way I was raised, was to tell them everything that was going on with me. And because of that, I never learned to differentiate between something that I considered private and something that was like shareable with other people. Does that make sense? So I always considered that with everyone I was interacting with, I should just tell them everything or as much as they wanted to know. So if you're listening in, say hello. I'm sharing all about how I used to overshare in my life. I never had any kind of sort of discernment as to something that was private for me and something that I wanted to share with other people. And so what would happen, hi Mina, what would happen is that I would come out of a conversation with someone else feeling completely violated because it was like, wow, I didn't want to share that. And somehow they were to blame because why did they make me say that? And I felt naked. And this really caused problems in my marriage because my husband felt like we could never have anything confidential between us because if someone asked about my marriage, I would give them the latest and best of the drama that just happened or that just unfolded without any kind of boundary around what was my or what was his privacy, what was my privacy, or what mattered here. And Brene Brown is a wonderful author, and she talks about how she has a name for this, and it's called floodlighting. Basically, what you do is that you give someone else so much information that you blind them and you dump everything on them. And then it keeps you from having to actually be vulnerable. You say, oh, my husband had an affair. And they're like, whoa, like, okay. And then they're so uncomfortable that they just have to walk away. As opposed to you saying, oh, I'm having a really bad day. Can you feel the difference there? And to me, that stems from having poor boundaries with yourself. So I overcame this by setting my boundary. What am I willing to share with another person in conversation? So I decided that I'm willing to share things that were about me and only me. So I'm happy to share about my day. I'm happy to share about how I'm feeling, what I'm doing. I won't share about my husband and his business and something, even if I don't know. So I used to live by the rule, well, you didn't tell me it was a secret. And so if you don't make the disclaimer that it's a secret, then I assume that it's open for sharing. Whereas now it's kind of the backwards. Like I won't share it unless you give me explicit permission to do so. And so anything that has to do with him, I don't share things about my son because even though he's only 2, I see him as a whole complete person and I believe he should have his privacy. I don't share his medical information, anything like that. And so what happens now is that I'm able to navigate my relationship a lot more, all of my relationships, a lot more sincerely and a lot more genuinely because I'm choosing what it is I want to share with the other person. I'm intentional and deliberate about how I'm opening up or not opening up. Does this person actually need this information that I want to share with them? Are they going to be blessed by it? Is this valuable to them? Am I contributing in some way to our relationship by sharing this? And vice versa, does this do me any good by sharing? For example, I'm here sharing with you today my story about how I overcame oversharing and setting that boundary with myself because it might be, I believe that it's of value you too, because you might be in the place where you don't know what to share with other people and what belongs to you. And so you don't hold yourself sacred. You don't hold your thoughts sacred. Does the other person deserve these intimate ideas that I've come up with? Does the other person care enough in order for me to want to share them? So my reason sharing this is so that you can analyze your life and see where you are in terms of, are you oversharing? Are you being selective, and who deserves to have a piece of your heart, have a piece of your family, of your story? You're giving more than just information when you're sharing something with someone. And how is the other person receiving it? Are they overwhelmed and like put off by you because you're doing too much? Or does it feel like you're growing in connection and in intimacy in that particular relationship? Does that make sense? Let me know if you understand what I'm trying to say. The other thing is that I want to give you a gift. So I created a healing declarations audio for my community because I believe that affirmations are important, and I believe that repeating them over and over again is something that really helps us to program our subconscious mind. And so I'm going to post the link below if you'd like a copy of my healing declarations audio so that you can listen to it as well. I recommend my group listen to it in the morning when they wake up and as they're falling asleep, in order to train themselves to be different and to have newer, more empowering thoughts in their mind. That's all I had for you today. Thank you so much for interacting with me. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Sydney. I'm so happy that you took the time out of your day to be here. I love you so much. Goodbye.